Yes, absolutely. This is a station that gives you a voice, 90.3 Voice of the People from 25 minutes pursuing the 8 p.m. mark. Welcome to the Evening Rush. Now, this is where Nigeria's finest conversation takes place every evening. We are here in flesh and blood to do justice to yet another round of conversation. On a hot topic this evening, let's let you know, Borno Governor Zulum excludes Christians, their communities, from Nigerian government's 3 billion naira palliatives. This is according to Center for Justice. This is just one of the hot topics we have. Let me go drink water, drop cup, tell you my name, and then we continue. My name is Precious Enye. I'm one of the hosts of the show, and my producer and co-presenter.
Lagos. Welcome to the show today.
We'll let you in on, someone else who have in the house with us. But let's go on with other hot topics. Promise. Did you hear that particular one?
Yes, so there is jubilation in town in Nigeria as FG announces 50% discount on road fares, free train trips till January 4th. So
the road fare now, So how
is that going to work? How many transport companies are they going to include in this?
Does the federal government own any national mass transit?
So someone is saying probably they work with the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers on that, and know the buses or the transport companies they will use.
Motors and Chiscos of the world.
Who knows?
All right, interesting. That's good. All right, moving forward, Lagos. You are APC's biggest threat. I'm also blast Oshiomhole. What's going on here? And then, still in the news, pro-Wike Rivers lawmakers withdraw impeachment notice against Governor Fubara over Tinubu's intervention.
And still on Oshiomhole and Amosun, I don't know what's going on there, but this says Adams Oshiomhole names 3 persons that plotted his removal as APC national chairman when he used to be the APC national chairman. Perhaps. Was Amosun among? We don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out when we dig into the conversation. Nigeria's debt hits 87.91 trillion naira. This is according to Debt Management Office, DMO. That is, and the money never too big. At least it's not up to 100 trillion yet. So,
and on Rivers State, still, Fubara refuses to withdraw suit against pro-Wike lawmakers. So on the other hand, we're hearing that the suit has been withdrawn. On another hand, we're hearing that no, he's not taking this back. We don't know what's going on in Rivers State. We really don't know what's going on. And then
I also tried, yesterday I said I tried to speak with Edison here, the factional, the Fubara's factional speaker. They wouldn't oblige interview, but then I spoke with someone rather from the other camp yesterday, and as well as a journalist. But
from
today
Wike's camp.
Exactly. So today I also tried again to speak with them. They are declining, but I assure you, I'm gonna get you some scoop inside what's happening in Rivers State. I would dig out and I get a scoop. But then Nigerians are lamenting as naira scarcity persists nationwide. Today, pay me gone, because yesterday I was saying that I withdrew. Yeah, you bought, right? We're buying cash now. I bought 10,000 naira for 600 naira. I bought
today too.
Right? And then today's one, I'll tell you why it pained me to my bone marrow. I'm going to reveal. I will not even detail. And yes, what other conversation do we have now? Yeah, that lamentation is everywhere. Nigerians are groaning, suffering, and talking about this. Emefiele is in custody. Why are we going through all of this? Lagos, these are the hot topics that we have this hour. Let's take a break. I'll be right back to begin dissection of these and other stories. Stay with us.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
All right, moving on this evening, your APC's biggest threat, Amosun blast Oshiomhole. So former Ogun State Governor Senator Ibikunle Amosun on today, lampooned Senator representing Edo North, Adams Oshiomhole, over his role during the All Progressives Congress, APC, that is, as the chairman, right? Okay. The former state governor, Ibikunle Amosun, on Wednesday, lampooned Senator, and then, according to this report by Daily Trust and other newspapers, said that Amosun and Oshiomhole then APC chairman, had squared up during APC primaries in the build-up of the 2019 general election. So the clash followed the disputed governorship primary in Ogun State, which edged out the Amoson's anointed candidate, Adekunle Akinlade, in favor of Dapo Abiodun, once Amoson's ally. So the seat of discord was sworn in October 2018 when two governorship candidates emerged. Do you follow the story? I like to sound like a lecturer now. So the Mohammed Indabawa-led panel sent to the state by the APC National Working Committee then declared Abiodun winner, while the daring Adebi-led state executive of APC announced Akinlade as the winner of another primary that it conducted. So I don't know if you remember this rift at that time. So the emergence of two candidates in the party led to series of allegations and counter-allegations. While Amoson's camp was embittered that the Indabawa panel did not conduct any primary, the National Working Committee questioned where the Adeniyi-led executive conducted a primary and declared Akinlade winner. So Oshiomhole-led National Working Committee later backed Abiodun against Amoson's man, a development which severed the former governor's relationship. That is, the two of them now became enemies. See, we don't watch and come off for each other case like Pontius Pilate. So more than 4 years after, Oshiomhole on Tuesday revisited the 2019 drama and hinted that the party spent a whopping sum of 2.4 billion naira to win the governorship election in Kwara, Imo, and Ogun State. Did you hear that? Party spent 2.4 billion naira to win the governorship election in Imo, Kwara, and Ogun State. And you'll be wondering, so what exactly does the party need, or what exactly did they spend that cash on? So Oshiomhole spoke at the book launch of the former APC National Vice Chairman Northwest, that is Salihu Lukman. And I did tell you about Lukman yesterday, and the person who had accused Tinubu of this and that, also said that the party lost the Taraba State governorship election, even though it invested 800 million into the election in 2019. So according to him, the need to spend 800 million in Imo State, Ogun, Kwara, and Taraba was because they had strong opposition leaders in those states. So where we get better opposition, make us spend better money so that we feel come more power for their hand. Do you understand? So for Imo State, he said that there was Senator Rochas Okorocha, who was against the candidate of the party, Hope Uzodinma. Kwara had former Senate President Senator Bukola Saraki, and in Ogun State, APC had Amoson, who worked against the candidate of the party, Abiodun. I mean, because of what followed in the primaries that we discussed, I just narrated earlier. But Amoson, in a statement he signed on Wednesday, lampooned the former Edo governor, saying his narrative was not only fraught with lies, but also he, Oshiomhole, did not boast the requisite integrity to say the truth. Meaning, say, he not get the capacity, he not get what it take to talk truth. More like when somebody that tells you a lie for your body, that kind of thing, right? So I'm also said APC conducted worst primaries in Nigeria history under Oshiomhole's watch, describing him as APC's biggest, most destructive threat. Did you hear that? So the former governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Moses, saying that Oshiomhole is APC's biggest, most destructive threat. So it is not quoting him now, he said, it is not in doubt that I have participated fully in the formation and sustenance of our party. He went on and on and on while trying to tell us exactly how Oshiomhole played a critical part in ruining the image of APC, if I have to put it that way. Promise, there's another story about Oshiomhole.
About Oshiomhole and Amoson. Still on that, a former national chairman of All Progressive Congress, Adams Oshiomhole, has revealed how former governors of Ekiti and Ogun State, Kayode Fayemi, Ibikunle Amoson, respectively, and Salihu Lukman, a former national chairman, vice national chairman, Northwest, of the party, plotted his removal from office as the ruling party's chairman. Oshiomhole spoke specifically on his battle with the governors elected on the platform of the ruling party. He made the revelation at the launch of a book, APC and Transition Politics, authored by the Salihu Lukman in Abuja on Tuesday. Oshiomhole recounted how the author, alongside some governors, spearheaded the campaign that led to his illegal removal from office. He alleged that the governors deployed all manner of illegal means to remove him following his moves to enshrine party supremacy. Quoting him further, he said, Lukman wrote several letters dismissing my leadership without calling me. When you ride on the back of a tiger, there is only one destination. Lukman was appointed undemocratically by the Governors Forum. I was not consulted. I was a governor. We were told this is the new DG of the APC. He went on and on and on. You know,
okay, so join us.
How do you go to someone's book launch
to lambast the person?
And lambast the person.
So joining us in the studio, by the way, is a colleague, a friend, and a colleague again, Francis Ogwo. Francis, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us and coming to the show.
Good evening, everybody.
So he's a journalist and a content creator. So I don't know if you're aware, if you're abreast. I like the sound of abreast. So I don't know if you're abreast with the Ibikuna and Musu and Oshiomole's saga and what played out, right?
Well, I think Oshiomhole is always on the side of payback.
Yeah,
really?
Payback.
You're saying he's vindictive?
Yes, he doesn't forget things easily.
So how exactly that probably be the reason why he go to someone's book launch?
Yes, because he
and revisited something of the past.
My people say when trousers don't pass me.
And I bet Salihu Lukman never saw that coming.
Yes,
no, but would you really blame him? Because Salihu Lukman was the one who recently, less than 2 months ago, about a month ago, states that Tinubu may have spent about 100 billion naira to clinch the APC primaries tickets. Said they spent a lot of money. He even said that for the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the Speaker, they all spent about 50 billion. Do you know? Did you hear money? 50 billion naira each, more than serious spending. So for someone who was an executive of the party to come out to say that about the party, you think it's now also unfair for an Oshiomhole to berate him and probably to embarrass him in his own book launch?
So Oshiomhole is trying to get back at him?
Perhaps that's
yes,
in a way.
He's trying to, okay, this is my time to hit back at you and remind you of what you did to me in the past, and a lot will still come up between both of them, I know.
Okay, because there's been this back and forth in response and all that, serving us on drama and distracting us from what's happening in River State. Not like we're totally distracted.
We're still going to discuss.
We're still going back to
River's issue
to see what's happening in River State. So let's move to other conversations now. Do we visit River State now, or we just go straight on to tell people about the Christmas bonus that government has given
Let's
to
go
them?
to River State. It's your state after all.
You know your governor.
It's your state.
Your former governor.
Your former governor.
Okay, all right. So Promise said we should go back to River State. So River State, we visit right away. So in River State, a lot has been happening. The pro-Wike lawmakers are said to have withdrawn their impeachment notice to the governor. So the factional River State House of Assembly on Wednesday withdrew the impeachment notice served on the governor of the state, Sasiminalaye Fubara. Now, this occurred during plenary at the auditorium of the House of Assembly quarters in Aba Road, which was converted to a hallowed chamber via a motion at the last plenary held by the factional assembly lawmakers loyal to the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. That is that faction that is loyal to him, that Amehule is the speaker. A statement signed by Martins Wachuku, media aide to Amehule on Wednesday, said that reading a letter on the floor of the House signed by 24 members, the factional speaker, Right Honorable Martin Chike Amehule, recalled that on October 30, 2023, he read a notice of impeachment signed by 24 members of the House pursuant to Section 188 of the 1999 Constitution as altered, which contained particulars of gross misconduct and were served on the governor. He said following the agreement reached on December 18, 2023, at the instance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the House had withdrawn the notice of impeachment and would abide by the letters of the agreement and the advice of Mr. President, whom he said members had immense respect for. Promise. Let me pause here. So go back and read the other part. Because you know the agreement, the 8-point agenda is 1, Fubara would withdraw all
the alleged 8-point agenda. Exactly. We don't even know what's going on.
Exactly. So 1, Fubara will withdraw all court cases that he has against the Wike-led faction or Wike generally. And then 2, they in turn will stop or withdraw the impeachment notice, against him. 3, he will pay them all their money that is owing them, because he's not be paying them their, emolument and all of that. And then 4, he will do this, several issues there.
So he will have to revisit the budget. They will have to revisit the budget.
He would have to represent the budget that was already signed by the other house. He would have to represent the budget to them.
So there are indications that Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara may have breached the number 1 item in the resolution recently reached in Abuja as part of efforts to find a lasting solution to the ongoing face-off between the governor and the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike. Part of the resolution directed Fubara and his team to withdraw all court cases instituted against the Rivers State House of Assembly. However, at the resumed hearing of the suit today brought by the governor against the house before a state house court sitting in Isiokpo on Wednesday today, Fubara counsel D.O. Okoro SN like San told the court that he does not have any instruction from his client to withdraw the matter. Okoro was responding to the information brought before the court presided over by Justice O. Ben White by the counsel to the House of Assembly, Chief Ferdinand Orbit San, and he said Orbit had informed the court that he had the instructions of his client to withdraw the matter from court as a result of the development arising from the agreement of the parties in his suit. The court, after hearing from the duo, directed that Fubara's counsel should confer with his client with respect to the recent development as submitted by the defense counsel. The case was adjourned to January 31st, 2024 for a report of settlement. So we've been hearing rumor that Fubara has withdrawn all his suit against Wike's faction, and this story is saying otherwise. We really don't know what's going on.
Yes, exactly. So, speaking this morning, earlier today, on a television interview with, I think, Arise Television, Niger Delta statesman Edwin Clark, they say that, wait, okay, we called on President to tell Wike, his minister, to be in order. We did not tell him to come and intervene in what is happening. Let's take a listen to him say that, and we'll get back to this conversation.
Unfavorable surrounding where most of the people of those invited to attend the so-called meeting were one side, they were from Wike's side. And those who signed the agreement, how many of them were from the governor's side? Even the speaker that was recognized by the constitution that after the resignation, after the defection of the so-called 25, 26, 27 House of Assembly members who have now lost their seat under the section 1091G of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are no longer members of the House. Whoever is parading themselves is breaching the Constitution of Nigeria.
And then elder statesman Edwin Clark went on and on. Remember that yesterday the PDP National Working Committee had declared the seats of the 25 lawmakers vacant and said, you know what, these people, they're no longer part of our parties again. And they called on INEC to hold another election. And then we also did hear on the Kumkum that a lot of other statesmen in River State are not pleased with the resolution by the president. Rufus Ada George, even Peter Deli, who went with Fubara, to that mediation. I'm not happy. You have something to say on that?
Yeah, something about Odeli. So, former governor of River State, Peter Odeli, says he is satisfied with the decisions of Governor Siminalayi Fubara since his inauguration in May. Dr. Odeli made this assertion at the third convocation and 6th Founders Day ceremonies of Pamo University. Does he own? I think he owns Pamo University.
Right? Pamo University is his.
Where he said the governor, quoting him, has hit the ground running. A good dance begins with the first step. Your first steps are correct. There is no doubt that you will dance well. So does this mean that the Odelis are with Fubara in this now?
But we also cannot forget that the Odeli wife
Wike has this relationship with Peter Odeli and his wife. So what is going on there?
And then remember that during the mediation, it was said that Odeli went along with Fubara to that mediation. Well, Francis Ojari,
Well, River State, like we know,
What do you think,
is a
really?
very rich state, and I think what is happening. Well, Edwin Clark's, with due respect to him, I think he's intervening a little bit too late. The drama had gone too far for him to have.
Well, he has been intervening. He has been intervening all the while.
The big elders in River State would have done something earlier before now, because a lot of people, it's making it look like they're looking for that oil-rich money from River State. Well, a Fubra is if Fubra was like a Rotimi Amechi or something else, I'm sure probably River State would have been on fire, because people are expecting that a Wike should know his limits in how to handle issues concerning his home state. As a minister in Abuja, I think there are so many things on his table he should focus on than to brood crisis in River State.
But we know
You think
that
he's bringing crisis?
we also know that Fubara is more like his godson, his political son. Let's put it like that.
But there is a level of disloyalty that can.
What do you see as what do you mean by disloyalty?
I think from the side of Fubara
Oh wow.
to
Because he was practically handed over the position.
Yes. So
he
didn't even purchase his form anyway. The minister
all
said
of those
that.
free forms they were giving out, I'm sure Fubara felt he has executive power. So there are so many things.
Did you hear all the gossip surrounding that field?
That's what I'm saying.
So did you hear the gossip? Did you hear there was this gossip about the state's revenue, internally generated revenue at about 10 billion during Days and Weekly's time, and at this time now it reduced to 6 billion. He started asking questions, so he had to call someone who was Amechi's
Finance commissioner
because that person is from his hometown. Same place,
Yes.
Opobo, to please help him cross-check. I'm an accountant, but you also are very enlightened in accounting. I cannot do this now because of my position as a governor. Please help me, scrutinize this properly. And the guy came out, and then it happened to be that, the River State internally generated, revenue board is doing something fishy. And then the guy now went to report to Wiki, according to this gossip. So the IGR, the guy in charge of, the board, reported to Wiki that this guy is looking at where he shouldn't look at.
That was where the issue
he's scrutinizing
started.
too much, and then issue started. That's one side of the gossip. There's also the gossip of Wiki is demanding too much. How he demanded 25 billion naira from the 20 billion naira borrowed to do the Port Harcourt Ring Road. Remember, there's also another gossip of him demanding a particular percentage or 20% of every allocation that comes into the state. So if those allegations were anything to go by,
there's also another gossip of Fubara not being able to sign as low as 6 million naira.
he must
without
end at 5
informing
million.
Wiki.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
And then him also constituting his board and every member. Of course, you could tell on that based on how everyone was already withdrawing or some commissioners were resigning.
Well, I think
so. Do you think that if all of these accusations were correct, would you also say that Fubara was a bit too hasty in taking decision and he was disloyal?
I'm not sure he was hasty at this point with all of those variables we've gathered. But I think it's the dominance of Godfatherism that is hitting hard on him. He probably would have been working on a timeline as a governor with all of the deliverables supposed to put together within a period. But I'm sure Wike, just like the case we had between Governor Ambode and President Tinubu in Lagos State, where there's no border between your loyalty as a godson to a godfather. There are so many things.
Go ahead.
Yes, there are so many things between Wike and Fubara that I think is looking like you're crossing borders.
So is it even about Wike now, or is it supposed to be about the state? Is it not supposed to be about River State? What is good for River State? The importance of River State, the security of River State. Shouldn't that be the question? Shouldn't that be the most important thing on the table?
But Fubara is the custodian of all of those things we're mentioning here. He's the executive governor of the state. He has a right to take decisions on the state. But once that power is on him as a godson, there are so many limitations. So I'm too sure Wike felt I should take this decision on his behalf, or I should supersede whatever happens within his confines as a governor.
So I really don't want to go further on why there is a lot to consider in this conversation. Why what is happening? I mean, what people's opinion of what is happening is because. So I think I've mentioned this before on the show, but let me quickly run through that. So some people in River State are of the opinion that, look, Peter Odili ruled for 8 years in River State. He's from the upland part of River State, not River, right? And then he ruled without interference. And then Amechi ruled for another 8 years. He's an Aquarian and upland without interference. He didn't have a godfather or anybody dictate to him what to do. And then again,
did he not?
And then again, apologies. And then again, Wike ruled for 8 years without interference, without anybody telling him exactly what to do. So why should it be the time of the only Ijeoman during the new democratic dispensation that you want to start telling him what to do and directing him? To the extent of out of his entire cabinet, he was only allowed to choose one. The rest you brought for him. Even his chief security officer, even his assistants, you gave him.
Isn't that too much?
So isn't that too much? That's the thing, because it's gradual, and then Rivers people are looking at it. That's why it's almost tilting towards an ethnic war, because people are saying that, Ijaw people are saying that. I mean, the majority of the oil deposits in River State is from within the river, and the Ijaw people. So now we get this oil. Then now you want to tell us something to do. When you rule, we'll not worry you. Do you understand? So considering all of those feelers, would you still think that it was perhaps a bit too disloyal for Sin to have acted? Because some people said, okay, they saw this fight coming, but then again, they thought it would have been during the second tenure or something like that.
I tend to see it like a superiority move over the Ijaw people. Looking at the fact that the previous leadership has always come from the majority and not the minority. So I think they feel like they still have that.
Ijaws are particularly not minority. Ijaws are particularly not minority. There are lots of Ijaw communities, because you have the Quakers, the Bonese, the Nembes, the Calabaris, the Opobos. All of those are Ijaws.
Politically, how relevant have they been over the years?
They've been. It's just that they've not been able to produce a democratic governor.
They've been victims of oil spillage and all of those
Absolutely.
things. They've been victims of poor representations at the state level. So they still see them like those minority that don't have a say politically, not even about their how scattered.
That is not totally correct, though, because let me not even go there, because when you had that, like the joint River State, when Bayelsa and River State were together, we had more of the Ijaw people in power then.
We have what's this? DHSP.
We had quite a number of them.
But would I be wrong if I say the records set by people like Peter Odili and all of those people from the upland
Amechi,
area,
yes.
Amechi, probably dominated the decision of Wike over?
I can't tell, but if that's the case, then wow. Okay, let's move to another conversation very quickly.
I think the thing was, Wike wasn't supposed to come out as the governor. He wasn't supposed to be the governor, if not for the issue between Amechi and the Jonathan.
That's actually why Wike appointed.
That was how Wike came out. You understand?
Sorry,
that
Amechi.
was how an Ikwere man was able to become a governor
for 16
twice.
years.
Because Amechi is an Ikwere man, Wike is also an Ikwere man, and it wasn't supposed to be like that.
Was there any representation formula they had over the period? Or is it just,
of course, not like there's a proper rotation thing, but everyone, the idea is that there'll be rotation.
I think the idea was a riverine person would do, an upland person would do.
So if it existed, I think Wike should have allowed Fubra bring out all of his skills and everything in leadership and everything. So I think it's more of that political dominance between Wike's camp and the minority. Politically, like I still insist, the Ijaw people are not as sound as the Ikwere people.
But how do you think?
Did you say sound?
Let's sound like politically sound.
Okay,
You're meaning politically.
Okay.
But Asari is also from Ijaw. He's an Ijaw man, and he has been lambasting and warning, here and there.
All right, so let's just move on to other conversations. Congratulations to everyone in Nigeria, as the federal government has announced 50% discount on all fares this year out. So to facilitate smooth holiday travel for citizens, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has granted approval for a 50% reduction in interstate transport fares and free train rides for Nigerians traveling between December 21, 2023. December is from tomorrow. and January 14, 24. So Dele Alake, chairman of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Presidential Intervention, disclosed this announcement at the Aso Villa today, after the federal So the federal government, in collaboration with the Ministry of Transport, will coordinate efforts with transporters, road transport unions, and the Nigerian Railway Corporation to ensure the successful implementation of this special presidential initiative. He adds that that air travel is not included in this initiative, as the focus is solely on benefiting the masses. Let's take a listen to Dele Alake say this very quickly.
Year festivities. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, in another demonstration of his love for Nigerians, has approved that the federal government should intervene to bring down the cost of public transportation to allow our compatriots who want to travel to visit their loved ones and hometown to do so without stress and the extra burden imposed by the high cost of transport around this period. President Tinubu wants Nigerians to be able to travel within Nigeria to wherever they want to go to meet their loved ones without the extra burden of paying exorbitantly for interstate public transportation. It is in this wise that the President is announcing through us that beginning from tomorrow, that's the 21st of December, Nigerians willing to travel can board public transport via minibuses, luxury buses at 50% discount of current cost, and all our train services on the routes the trains currently serve at zero cost to and fro on their travels this holiday season. This special presidential intervention will commence tomorrow, Thursday, December 21, and it will end on January 4, 2024. The federal government, through the Ministry of Transportation, will be working with transporters, road transport unions, the Nigerian Railway Corporation to seamlessly deliver on this special presidential initiative.
I feel like shouting, yay! Congratulations, Nigerians. Okay, so congratulations to Nigerians. Yeah, you have it.
So
you heard what Dele Alake said. You see, because of the love the president has for Nigerians, the immense love, he now looked at it. I don't want people to suffer when they're going to see their loved ones across the country. So now, someone like Francis now can go to Kaduna.
Maybe to say,
his father. Okay. So I'm just, the only part that got to me is the rail transport part. I'm not wondering, okay, so this will only benefit the states or the geopolitical zones that are covered by rail transportation. But then, that's to say a good one.
But I think it's still the implementation that will be the problem. Some people will still want to go against that directive. So if they can implement it, it's a good one from the president. You know?
So I think it's a word.
Yes, it's
oh, by the way, somewhere in River State, Simfobra added 100,000 naira to all the civil servants and said, you know what, take this and go home. I dash you. Come for us our work. Oh, well, let's finish with federal government before we go to other matters, because still talking about the federal government now, the Debt Management Office is saying that Nigeria's total public debt rose marginally by 0.61% quarter on quarter to 87.91 trillion naira in the third quarter of 2023. Third quarter would be at the end of September. October, November, end of September. So we have not heard as to what our debt profile is between October, November, and as of today. But this is according to the new debt stock data from the Debt Management Office as released today, Wednesday. According to the data released, total extended debt stood at 31.98 trillion naira. That is your total external debt, and then domestic debt amounted to 55.93 trillion naira in the period being reported. So the DMO said that at 87.91 trillion naira, the total public debt stock represents a marginal increase of 0.61% when compared to the June 30, 2023 figure, of which was 87.38 trillion naira. This trend is explained by the decrease in external debt from 43.16 billion as of June 30, 2023. So congratulations to you. Your death is, doing well. So with this now, I do know, the last time I checked, we're servicing, not paying. We were servicing our debts with 96% of our revenue. With this additional, it's marginal, just 0.61%. I don't know if it will go up that remaining 4%, because it was even 96.5 or so, or 96.3. So I don't know if it's going to go up that 0.4.7% that is left or thereabout. But then we hope for the best for Nigeria. And promise, if we have another story, let's quickly pay
away from LG. We're going down to Borno, the Center for Justice on
You want us to go there? I thought we would have handled Naira, but it's fine. Let's go to Borno State.
The Center for Justice and Religion and Ethnicity in Nigeria, CJREN, has accused Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State of deliberately excluding Christians in the state from the federal government palliatives given to the citizens and residents of the state. The CJREN Director General, Reverend Kalamu Dikwa, stated this while alleging that Christians in the state are always excluded from any palliative or assistance brought to the state, including the 3 billion naira given by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to help those whose family members were killed by Boko Haram insurgents and other terrorists in the state. The CJN director said in a release shared with reporters, quoting them, they say any assistance that came to the citizens of the state from the federal government, Christians in the state are always excluded. And quoting them further, he said that he further alleged that Governor Zulum gave a demolition order to the same church, to a church, saying that on this note, we clearly wish to inform them that he demolished a church, And he went on and on and on. And he said to know that any breach of, he's warning and telling the federal government and people of Nigeria that any breach of peace in Borno State is a handiwork of the current governor, Babagana Zulum. And the Borno State governor has yet to officially react to the press release put out by Dikwa on the alleged neglect of Christians in some communities in Borno State.
So talking about the attack by Boko Haram and all of that, Francis, now, we know that the Chibok community, for instance, that was practically ravaged by Boko Haram, is a Christian-dominated community in Borno State. And so, you're very conversant with the northern area of Nigeria than here. So, is it surprising, or isn't it rather surprising that Christian communities are actually worse hit in most of these, attacks? And then again,
when
the interventions come,
it
rather doesn't include them.
I think it's the marginalization is something that has lingered ever since that Chibok crisis came up. Because if you go to Borno, if you go to Chibok is a Christian town.
Yeah, of course, that's why I mentioned that.
There are so many schools that have become Islamia.
Oh wow, really?
Christian schools. There are so many churches that have been deserted.
So they've been converted?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And funny enough, Governor Zulum comes to the media he comes to the media without even hiding his bias. And some people
You've noticed him do that?
And most of these local governments are Christian-dominated local governments. But because they've been sidelined, now they don't have a voice anymore. So what is happening now is something that has built over the years, and I think if it doesn't stop, it's going to become an ethnic thing, because it's difficult to draw a line between Christian and Muslims in that area.
So the interesting thing, I was going to say that the interesting thing about Borno State is that people don't even know that Borno State is a multi-ethnic.
Yes,
it's a multi-ethnic state. Yes. You don't have just one ethnicity in Borno State. You have you have different ethnicities in Borno State. So people really used to think that it's just Hausa people and it's just
some people don't know that there are lots of Christians there too.
That is it.
Borno State is actually one of the northern states with a lot of Christians.
And people who cross from the Chad Basin, who cross from Niger into Borno, from the Chad Basin across the Sambisa area, most of these people they've intertribal marriages and everything has made that community, that state, a very complex one. So I think the governor needs to take a very major decision to unite both the Christians and the Muslims. Fairness and equity.
This is like almost the same thing that's happening in Kaduna, southern Kaduna.
Yes, southern Kaduna. Yes. Because the minority now, people in southern Kaduna, and they feel they are not represented. That is why General Lekot came up on the other time and said, give us Gurara State so that it will represent our interests. Now, which voice is going to come up from the deprived communities or deprived religion in Borno State? because they inspire people fear in the town. People no longer speak up. Nobody comes to the media to do interviews anymore because of witch hunting. So if the governor doesn't, at his level as the executive governor of the state, unite the state, is going to
and be able to represent everybody and every religion
and equity.
But he was waiting for a second tenure because everyone thought that he's doing okay.
He was getting that applause from the virtue of would I say his boldness in tackling crime. He was very bold in tackling crime. His approach against people, his approach against the Boko Haram insurgents, people likened him to all of those people from the northern Chad, and that he was bold in tackling. So it's not as if he didn't have traces of being biased. He's bringing them out and he's making people feel this governor doesn't represent us. He represents the Muslim.
So there's a lot of worry now. If this is happening in Borno State and back in Kaduna State, El Rufai boldly did say recorded that trended all over social media about how the government will consistently continue to be Muslim dominated.
It's happening because there are so many communities.
Is this now more like a threat to non-Muslims in the north?
Yes,
irrespective of them being indigenous of their environment or that locality.
Of course, that these communities have always echoed alleged Islamization agenda. Now, these governors need to prove to them that it's false. If you go to Southern Kaduna, if you go to Zangukata, if you go to Lere local government, go to Saminaka, go to some places that had very good population of Christians. They've all run away. Most of them have even denounced Christianity just to leave. I particularly know a lady that had video call with, and I saw her in hijab. She said if she does not wear hijab, that she'll be killed. I know a friend whose ginger farm has been converted to a graveyard.
Is that bad?
Yes. Some of these communities, they don't stay out as early as 7 p.m. because of fear of being killed. There are so many things they'll ask you once they know you're not if they know you're from Southern Kaduna, or they even see a tribal mark, they'll kill you. So it's crazy. People are in churches and they kill them. So they clamp down.
You're on radio, Francis. Are you certain about this information?
Yes, they clamped down on. I've had opportunities of interviewing minority groups on TV who were witnesses to killings, and they talked about how they chased out from churches. The ones that couldn't run were lynched to death.
Wow.
And these are communities that are very good in what we call export from Southern Kaduna. Ginger is produced in Kachia and Zango Kataf. So exports of ginger, some of these people no longer farm ginger. They no longer farm guinea corn, soya beans, and some of these things that made Southern Kaduna tick. They've left their farms. They don't have a voice. People that the late governor of Kaduna State, Ibrahim Yakowa, people like late Isaiah Balat, people like General Zamani Leport, they raised their voices. But who will pick up at this stage and say, help Southern Kaduna survive?
Is it that there are no much of Christians involved in politics in Kaduna State? Why is it that it's
also handling politics
because they are minority tribes, they don't get the votes that will put them in power.
Oh.
So even when they come up to talk at the state level, they don't have. It's a game of numbers. So these communities, some of them, because of how poor they've become, it's more like they weaponized poverty in that community, in those areas, because they feed from their own. They pick crumbs from their own food to eat. They pick crumbs. These people do not have a voice. Nobody talks for them. They don't have a voice. And the way they now slitted and chased them away into the hinterland made it look like go and stay in the bush. And the majority of the popular places in Kaduna that should belong to them, original inhabitants, have now become like tourist sites to them. There's a place called Kajuru Castle that attracted visitors all over the world. It's a historical site. Now that place is a dead zone. You don't go there. If you go there, it's either you're kidnapped or they lynch you, because that was a voice for Southern Kaduna people. So it is something very, very crazy. So many people have laid their voice. Enoch people, Enoch community. Right now, they don't have a voice. It's a popular record label owner who's from that town that's raised his voice severally. NOC is supposed to be a tourism heaven for the country because of its historical place in Nigeria's history. But nobody goes to NOC now. Nobody talks about NOC. Nobody visits to do documentaries, because if you go there, once they see that you want to make something out of that place, they begin to reach out to you.
So from what you're saying, it looks like the insurgents are intentionally attacking the southern Kaduna or the Christian part of Kaduna
They are expanding territories. They are expanding territories. There are so many towns.
So it's about dominance. That's what you think. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, whoa. All right, Lagos. Let's quickly go through our last conversation before we go. So I don't know what your battle or what your experience with cash has been. Nigerians have gone on various social media platforms to lament the high rate of naira scarcity in the country. So the naira scarcity comes approximately 12 months after Nigeria went through the same ordeal in 2022, because it's looking like this Christmas is about to become like last year Christmas, and people are worried. You recall that owing to the naira redesign policy implemented by the CBN between December 2022 and February 2023, a cash shortage surfaced until the Supreme Court extended the deadline, to December 31, which by the way they have not extended indefinitely. However, the extensions was instead revoked. So as the Christmas and New Year festivities get closer, Nigerians are once more going through the hurdle of the naira note shortage. As a matter of fact, I myself and I have suffered. In fact, let me take some more reports. So reports from many automated teller machines, deposit money banks in many parts of the country are either not dispensing cash or witnessing long queues. That is, deposit money banks, that is your normal commercial banks, are either they giving money or long queues. This situation has resulted to nationwide outcry from Nigerians who condemned the incident. Let me quickly play you a soundbite of a particular Nigerian who, in fact, it remains one way she cried for inside the matter because the team paid her very well. And then when she finishes her cry, I am coming with my book of lamentation about my personal experience and ordeal about this. Take a listen.
I'm in front of a First Bank. I'm at Belowe. There is no money. I just wanted to withdraw ordinary 50,000. Can you see? See, ordinary 50,000. They said there is no money in the bank. I can't believe this. What is going on? And I was told that it's from CBN. Ordinary 50,000, no money. You go and use this other thing. What they call that one?
ATM.
The other one.
All right, the other one. So you know why this matter is very dear to me? I was thinking it was play, but the thing is entering players now. Because yesterday, Francis and Promise, I withdrew 10,000 naira I bought, because it doesn't sound like withdrawal. I bought 10,000 naira with 600 naira yesterday.
Same thing
and
today.
It's not a joke.
Same thing today.
10,000 naira with 600 naira yesterday. He paid me. I did do face. And then today now, I stood up jejely and said, okay, how dare I buy money in my fatherland? I will not let this happen again. As a proud Nigerian, let me walk and enter bank and tell them my name is Precious. Let me see if my name can open doors. Let me explain to you. So I went into the bank and matched that. First of all, the queue that visited me, I was like, what's going on here? Are they sharing free money? And I spent 2 hours queuing in the bank. 2 hours. Francis, guess how much I got? How much? 5,000 naira was the only thing banks were dispensing. That particular bank. 5,000 after a long queue. My own personal money. I worked hard for. You see how I work from morning to night to make money.
You should also mention banks, but with the
Is it about banks? Is it the fault of the bank?
And guess what?
Do they have enough cash?
I have like three accounts with that particular bank. I have a corporate account. In fact, like 4 accounts with that particular bank. So now I ask them, okay, this 5,000 naira that you give me in this account now, can I please withdraw another 5,000 from another? He said from another account. He said no. That the problem is that they don't even have cash at all to give. So if they give me another one, they would have disenfranchised someone else, or probably displaced someone else.
But why now? Why now? Nigerians are already.
And then this same thing started. It started like a joke because like 2 months ago, I went to the bank and I noticed how miserly they were with dispensing cash, and I asked. The banker was like, she was hiding and saying it small. So I was like, money no day, and they're not giving us money. And I said, can I interview you? And she said, no, I don't want to talk on phone, on camera. But then she gave me all the information. In fact, 3 months ago or 4 months ago, that's when this started. And she said it's from CBN, that are not giving them enough cash. As at that time, CBN was, saying otherwise, that there is enough money. If you remember 2-3 months ago, CBN was saying that, oh, Nigeria, don't panic, there's enough money. That the rumor about alleged scarcity, they call it alleged, it's artificial and all that. And now it is now worse. I don't understand. And people are now saying, wait a minute. Shebi Emefiele is in Kuje now.
And
did he come from Kuje now to come and stop?
It's not like there's any election holding. So what's going on?
What is exactly the problem right now?
They should come out and tell us.
And then CBN has come out to say that, you know what, that is because deposit money banks, you know, that they're giving them money. You understand? That people are just doing panic withdrawal. The deposit money banks themselves now are not telling us where is this money going to? The first time we heard in Buhari state now is because people are hiding this money to do vote buying in election. When election now is finished, also in election is also no more, except the ones coming next year. 1 or 2 states that will have election next year will not cause this kind of wahala for us now. So why are we having this kind of, and it is not funny, because remember that this incident made a lot of people lose their lives last year and early this year, and it's not fair that this is happening again. Go ahead with the question.
My questions are these. Are these DMBs, are they getting enough money they request from CBN?
That's the
because
question.
There was a particular bank that the business manager was telling us that they are not getting enough money they request for, that CBN had to start rationing money. And CBN will still come out and say there's enough money. Banks, come and collect. So who is telling the truth and who is lying to Nigerians? Because what Nigerians are passing through now is not, this is another
I mean,
injury,
with the kind of hardship that we have in Nigeria right now,
you are buying money now instead of withdrawing money.
You don't even understand. Remember that things were not this hard last year and early this year when that money scarcity, prevailed. But this time around, prices of things have like doubled.
Yes.
As at February, January this year when this happened, the bag of rice was like 30-something thousand. But right now, do you know it's 70,000 naira?
570.
So that is like double the price. Yes. How can I be buying? And this is the same thing with price of transportation, doubled.
And you buy money to
price of other things doubled. And I buy money to go and buy money. Okay, I buy money to go and buy money to go and buy foodstuffs. And then it's painful. Like it's really painful for Nigerians. Well, Lagos phone lines are open. Let's have you chiming on those. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. If you're calling from other parts of the world, you can call the WhatsApp line. The WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. That is 0700 903 9039. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions to the conversation. Promise you have some WhatsApp messages. Will you read them?
And this says, hey beautiful, good evening, Madam Precious and Promise. Hope you guys are doing perfectly well. I beg, Precious, what happened now? Why are you starting so late, or have you changed the program time to 7:30? Anyway, I'll listen to your highlights, then I will drop my message back. So some days like today we'll start by 7 p.m.
and then before we probably prep and all that, it will be past 7, so it's not deliberate, right? You know that we'll have a show that runs till 7 o'clock.
And this says the assembly members should construct the National Assembly that was pulled down as a result of their hooliganism before agreeing with any terms.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm coming from Sangota, Archbishop.
Shangota.
Yeah, good evening,
Good evening.
long time.
Yes, so welcome.
I'm trying your call all the time. I'm not getting,
Sorry.
but I thank God I got you.
Sorry.
I'm always listening to your program.
Thank
and
you.
We so love you, love everything you're doing.
Stop it, I like it, Joe.
Thank you, my sister.
Thank
Every
you.
time I will bring my radio. Immediately I come back. No matter my BP, I'll bring my radio and be listening to you, listening to Darlington, everybody, oh Jesus.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
In your shoe. Anti-Precious, I don't know what to say. I'm even tired of this Nigeria.
Sorry.
Anti-Precious, I came back for 1 week now. Anti-Precious, I'm telling you, I don't have 1 naira to eat.
Check.
I'm telling you, where I collected bread for us to eat, I'm still owing them. I cannot pay because of what I'm going through. It's a wrong story. But I give God glory that we are alive today. I don't know where we are going. Sometimes we be ashamed to say your problem. But how are we going to pretend all this when you understand? As I'm talking to you now, we don't have anything to do with depression. I don't have money. Not that I'm not doing something, but leadership and challenges and expenses something cannot allow you to have something. Even when I come back sometimes from market, the money I can even come back with transport money to come back with is what I will borrow because of hardship. I don't know where we are going.
Sorry.
God has
Sorry.
for us.
It is well. Our president says there are difficult baby steps. Just like a pregnant woman. By the time you see the baby now, you forget about this pain. Sorry, here. And don't worry, I'll try to reach out to you too. Well done.
I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks. Bye. All right, promise. We have some messages. Go ahead.
All right, this says, good evening, PP. Nice intervention from the president. But why is it the Minister of Solid Minerals that's announcing it? Why not the Minister of Transportation or his spokesman?
All right, we're coming back to that. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, Auntie Precious. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you. This is Madam Quality calling from Moshi.
Quality, you're welcome.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I hear you. Auntie Promise, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome, madam. Welcome.
Yes, ma. I'm just down. I'm excited. But as long as I hear this woman lament, I'm just down in spirit. I'm just crying inside my spirit. What is happening? What is happening? Sometimes when I bring food to eat and see how people look at you, that ordinary white rice, ordinary rice that you put oil, if you see the way people are looking at you that you are eating it, you will just be thinking that you are Dangote. What is really happening? We are doing business, but things are not moving well. For my own side, I really thank God. But hearing the voice of this woman just weigh me down. Just tell the woman to send her account details. Anything I see, I will support her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I actually took down her number while she was talking. Thank you so much. And you see, this is the reason why I told myself that my birthday this year, I'm not visiting charity home. Let me give to Nigerians who are in their houses who cannot eat food.
The pain is too much. The pain is too much. People are suffering too much. The pain is too much. I'm selling foodstuffs. I know how many people that come to my shop every day to beg, and I cannot give everybody. I can't help everybody. Is it not business? You will buy. Okay, now rice is 70,000 naira. You buy rice at 65,000, and before you finish selling one bag, it's now 70,000. How much get do you get for you to add money to go and buy another one? Business is going down every day. What is all this?
Sorry.
And people say we should not talk. Let us be civil. Okay, now let me go and look for in your account where
I think now you're shading me now, Abi. You finish talking now. You want to shade me on top of your talk? Well, come and be going. Thank you, Madam.
She said she's looking for Steve.
For Steve to be civil. Oh my God, it will kill me. I'm so sorry. So I know what people are going through. It's not even a joke. People are going through a lot, and I know that. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, Madam Precious, Madam Promise. Good evening.
You're welcome, sir.
This is Steve calling from the Keja.
Steve, you're
How
welcome.
are they today?
What do you find? Go ahead.
You see this River State crisis. I was in Port Harcourt on February before the election. Immediately I saw the billboard. I told my colleague and some people I met in Boa, I said, Wike and the current governor, you have issue. They say it's a lie. It's a lie. I say, guy, I am not a prophet. I don't own a church. But when seeing these two people, they cannot work together. What is happening? The prophets I prophesied February night, what is happening now? And I called my friend today. I say, guy, what did I tell you for that? He said, oh, but what you talk don't happen. Yes, that one should go aside. They should settle their differences. Reducing 50% from transportation, those who want to travel. Most companies will not comply. We know Nigerians now. Some companies will not comply. Some people will tell you that you are not the one that opened the company for them. Unless you have to use power as the president to make sure that 50% must be reduced. If you don't do that,
Oga, calm down first. Calm down first. You know that there's something called running cost for business. They buy fuel. First of all, the government has to explain as to how they would come into this intervention, which they didn't actually make public. Are they going to give them fuel and diesel at cheaper rates? How would they pay their staff? Because that transport money that people are paying, that amount, maybe government plans to pay the other 50%, because they will pay staff, they would buy fuel, they will handle their entire runnings. and logistics. So how will they make up for it? It is
Madam
a business,
Precious,
sir.
I don't want to go so vocal. If I say something about this government, I say, you are going to.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
That is why I don't want, because I will know the people that's in power. We know people that's in power. They have said what they want to say. It's for them to comply what they promised Nigeria, for us to see it, and also they should try to see how they can drop the price of rice in the market. How come, sir? 70,000 naira is not a joke.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I wonder how many people that can afford rice this Christmas.
So many people can't. So many people can't.
So many people that can afford rice this Christmas.
Thank
God should help Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. All right, promise.
Going back to WhatsApp. Good evening, PP. This is Bolahon, who is a betrayer between Wike and Fubara, Atiku and Wike, Akeredolu and Deputy, Obaseki and Deputy, Tinubu and Ambode. You're asking, these are Godfatherism fighting with their godson. Is this democracy? Nigerian state has turned to loyalty, na cash and carry. Objection, na mortuary. Everybody gets agenda with their mercenary enterprise. Okay. How will there be development when somebody must report to you before developing a state? Example is, you mentioned Lagos State. I'm not going to mention everything you mentioned here. Bottom line, you're saying it's a shame the worst of us are ruling the best of us.
All
Truly,
right.
There was a country.
All right. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello, good evening. This is Benjamin from Ejibo.
Benjamin, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Precious, the problem we are having in this country, I keep saying it whenever I call on this program, is that the government, I don't know if they know what they are doing. The policy they did in 2015 is what kept me down till now. I was most every week, I will always be in China. But because of the useless policy they have, it has been bringing people down. Look at what people are complaining. A bag of rice for 70,000. How do you cope with all these things? Yeah? And they said there is hope. Where is that hope, for Christ's sake?
It's at the end of the tunnel.
We need hope.
How many people will survive that tunnel? That is the question. How many will survive it? Thank you very much, Jared.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. All right, phone lines are still open. 0700-903-903-903 and 0700-903-9039. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, I can hear you. Good evening, welcome. Thank you.
My name is Madam Unique from Nigeria.
All right, go ahead, please.
We are still talking. Okay, we are still talking of hope and people are dying. You're talking of bringing transportation down. How many people are going to travel? Where is the money to travel? People don't even have money to eat, talk of travel. And there is no plan how he will do it before announcing it. Is this people come and put tears in Nigeria, especially before Martin? He should try to do something. All these promises, it's not good. Look at the 35,000 now. They didn't pay workers.
They paid. I think they stopped paying. I think they stopped paying in September thereabouts. Yes. Where they didn't pay November though.
Okay.
I hear they didn't pay October, November.
Okay, I wish so. Please do help us to beg you.
That is why we're talking like this, because we're begging them.
People are crying. This morning now, no money outside. So please, you people are the mouth of the people. Please help us.
Thank you.
To beg Tinubu.
Thank
to
you.
wipe away our tears with the poor people.
Thank you.
Thank you. God will bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, promise I want to keep running through your messages. Yes, please.
Good evening, VOP. If it is true that Fubara agreed on signing on the ongoing peace accord brought before him by the duo President Tinubu and Wike, then Fubara has disappointed the people of Rivers State, PDP as a party, and Nigerians in general. This is because this case would have paved way for ignition of justice proceedings in the Nigerian democracy. On the other hand, how on earth would a matter of that magnitude be left alone on Fubara without the intervention of the PDP stakeholders, you're asking? Besides, I think Fubara and Wike are both having skeletons in their cupboards, which acts a threat between both of them. Hence, one is saying to the other, If you go hard on me, I would betray you. Agege from Agege is saying this.
All right, Chuka Ekwe says, good evening, beautiful, precious, and promise. I greet you all. I am. Okay, help me tell everyone in Nigeria to take care of your mental health and stay safe. Francis and everyone in Nigeria, please take care of your mental health and stay safe. And Fisayo Majikudumi says, good evening, beautiful, two beautiful ladies. 50% transport fare. Another executive said it's a scam. Why now? You guys don't have it. Even a little as mustard seed. Have it. Okay. He said people are hungry. You are focusing on transportation. Why can't they put 50% for food consumption? That is 50% reduction in food consumption. If you had made it now in such a way that everybody goes to buy rice 50% during this Christmas, it would have been a better deal. That's what this person is saying. That's what you're saying.
They will not bother traveling.
So you think that it would have been better? You think it would have been better if this?
Yes, on food and feeding than transportation. People are hungry. Some people can't travel with empty tummy now.
And when you go there, you not be swallowing.
You got sleep for motor.
And you're seeing village people. You're going to the village. You're going with empty hand. What are you going to tell them?
Tell them to have hope. They have hope because renewed hope is here. All right, more further. Let's
all right. Good evening, beautiful promise. Beautiful P-Square. In as much as seemingly termed a conspiracy theories, I just state that I think your airwave is being attacked, deliberately interrupted. We actually had some technical issues earlier today anyway. Now to my main point of writing you guys. On Saturday, Tinubu spoke at a high-level meeting with stakeholders and investors on the Nigerian carbon market and 100 electric buses rollout program as one of the immediate tangible benefits of the COP28 in Dubai. He said the initiative is part of the efforts to position Nigeria and Africa as the pioneering frontier of green manufacturing and industrialization. I'm quoting you. Please, ladies of VOP, let's put some fact to this propaganda. We have 37 states, Abuja inclusive. So 2.7 buses per state. This is the only positive benefit Tinubu brought to Nigeria while he had more than 1,400 entourage with him to Dubai. You're saying.
And it's small now.
Nigerians are being dumb and foolish, excluding me. Okay, all of us are dumb and foolish, excluding you. Because these people are playing with us and we only complain with no action. This was what Buhari said, that we should bear with him till 8 years gone. Now the same continuation. Precious people are passing through pain and you expect us to keep quiet. It's not possible. Senator from Isolo. He's angry. He's angry.
Obawale from Obawale Johnson says this topic needs to be investigated. Oshiomhole is cooking something. John Owande says what Wiki what Wiki are doing with all those money? Well, what is he doing with all this money? That's what you're saying. You say he should take example from Abacha. What happened? Okay, all right, and then Ade Philip says it's going to be fight to finish. It's PDP now. APC one is also cooking and steaming slowly. It is done small because even if that beans, it is done small. And then Chuka Ekwe says Nigerians problems in this country. This man made. He said that their problems are man-made. I hope we can see it. And then Nico Bratcher says, "Thank you, Jesus. I plead the blood of Jesus over what." Okay, go ahead, bro.
Samuel from Alimosho says, wonderful night to you all. We are rather smart people of Nigeria. We prefer to buy everything, including money. There is no voluntary help and you still buy to help from people. For example, asking younger ones on the street to help you push your car off the road because fuel finished in it. They would bill you and probably you have to negotiate. We are not intelligent any longer and only God knows the destination of how we are going now as a country, you're saying.
All right, okay. All right, Lagos, let's get back to our phone lines. 0700-903-903-903. That's the number to call. 0700-903-9039. Yep, hello, good evening. All right.
We go back to WhatsApp.
The line is almost hooking. I'll go back to WhatsApp very quickly.
All right, this says, good evening, Madam Precious and Promise. What I want to say is that Tinubu I'm going to do like you now. Nigeria as a beginner, I would never know what will even happen as of next year. Now, bag of rice is 70k. Who can afford that? Anyway, those that said is their turn, you mean, I believe that they are buying the same rice at the rate of 5k. Escort from Agoda is saying this.
Okay, all right. All right.
And this says, good evening, guys. Naira gains over 200 against dollar in 5 days as expert predicts full recovery in 2024. You quoted your source. I'm sorry, I can barely see that. Why are all these juvenile propaganda by Cardoso and his inept CBN officials keep insulting Nigerians' intelligence? You're asking. How does Naira gaining 200 Naira in 5 days against the dollar impact on their daily exchange rate? Which is approaching 1,300 Naira to the dollar in the black market this morning? Didn't Tinubu promise to sack any underperforming minister? Cardoso should be first candidate to test this Tinubu's poetic justice. Ostino from Olodia Papa.
He has not stayed long. You know, his appointments came later than that of others.
And this says
the one for others came earlier. So
this says, good evening, VOP. The government should reduce the food price by 50%, not transportation, because everybody must eat, but everyone will not travel. James from Ejigbo.
So would that even work? Because that may happen now, and then you have the rich also buying the foodstuffs right and stocking it up, and then selling it. Exactly. Yes. Let's go back to the phone lines, please. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. All right. I think something is fundamentally wrong with the phone lines this evening. The calls are coming in, but for some reasons I just hanging and it's not pulling through. All right, go ahead.
Going back to WhatsApp, Precious, do not be deceived by your president who has indirectly told you to start trekking on time so that you can cover halfway of your journey.
Hello, good evening. Good evening to you. Promise to start trekking to River State gradually. Good evening and welcome.
Yes, sir, Precious, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. How are you?
You say?
Says, how are you?
How are you?
I'm fine now. I can hear that I'm very fine.
Yeah. You are sitting right from Ejigbo.
Go ahead. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah. Please, I want to talk about this transport step down. I want to say that this thing is a scam. You understand? This thing is a scam. Because you know that all of us are not going to travel. Do you understand? All of us are not going to travel. Instead of them to bring down the cost of food, they are telling us that they are cutting down transportation. You see everybody that okay, you travel. What are you going to tell the people at home? Are you going to tell them that you are coming to eat from the one that they kept, or you are bringing something for them? You understand? It's obvious that these people are cooking something for us. They are cooking something for us, but it's only God that will help us in this condition. Okay, now look at the money that we have in our country. We are still buying it. You cannot even access your own money, your own income that you kept in the bank. It is obvious. It is obvious. I'm just tired about everything.
Sorry.
I'm just tired about everything.
Sorry.
So that's my own complaint.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. Sorry, Don't worry. All will be well in the fullness of time. Thank you. All right, go ahead, Promise.
And he says this is the significance of the 50% discount because there is no way it can be implemented, and it also a means by the federal government to. And I'm not saying what you said here. Goldfish from Atlantic is saying this, and this is good evening, guys in the studio. Dimma from Agodo has this to say: one begins to protect only when he or she is able to know is theirs. Our politicians see Nigerian nation as a no man's business. Probably the reason they now turn it into a hunting ground for the strong and brave. I pray for strength for Nigeria, you said.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, welcome.
Okay, please, my name is Amechi.
Welcome, Amechi.
Okay, please, I'm calling from Oshiomhole. Please, there was a time I went to this station and I discovered that non-land investment people were in your station. Please, how can I reach there, please, ma?
Okay, I can't tell exactly how you can because it's a sponsored business, but I don't even know how to get your contact, so I can forward to any of them. Okay, I'll try to see if I can send your contact to any of them if I get through to them.
Can I give you my phone, my WhatsApp?
You can't call it. I've seen it. I've taken it down. I'll send it to them if that's fine with you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye. All right. Okay. Promise.
And then this says, good evening, P&P. This is Madam Perpetual from Isheri Idimo. Things are getting tough the more in this country. I went to my bank, you called your bank, to collect money. There is no money. I collected 10K today from POS and I was charged 400 naira. I use money to buy money in my country. Too bad. Oh, you're lamenting. And this is...
All right. Okay. Let's take the call. Hello. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Madam Precious.
Sir? Good evening to you. Welcome.
My name is Magic Pencil.
Magic.
Okay, can you hear me? Magic Pencil.
Magic Pencil. That's good. Welcome, Mr. Magic.
Yeah. Okay. I had people talking about the 50% or whatever on transportation. Okay. But there is something we're forgetting. The question is, what actually caused the increment in transport fares in Nigeria?
Subsidy.
Isn't it fuel? Cost of fuel. Yeah, basically. Okay. So instead of you now saying you want to drop the price to half, 50%, I mean, why not drop the price of the fuel? Do you understand what I'm saying? Can you hear me, please?
We can hear you. We are assimilating. We're trying to reason it.
So what I'm saying is, why not the price of that fuel? Once you do it, it's going to affect transportation fare all over. Okay, now, if you can control the trains, which is under the government, how about private guys? How are they going to affect this and be able to extract this money?
I hope you are aware that there is also an allegation that the federal government is still paying subsidy. Because going by the amount, God bless you. Because going by the price,
we know that,
the price of dollar right now and the exact price of oil from the international market,
and it's still not it's still not appreciated.
We ought to be buying fuel more than the normal price.
Yes,
but we're not. So we hear on the the federal government is just paying that extra. Just that it's not as much as it used to be.
Very true. Very true. It's very simple and it's very clear. Now, try going this route. Why not the route of come up with any kind of measure that will drop how much people buy a liter of fuel in Nigeria? Or for these transporters, I think for me that's what will affect the whole transportation stuff this Christmas.
Then we'll now go back to square one. Where we're spending how many trillion naira monthly? How many trillion in 3 months for fuel subsidy?
So how is he going to pay back this 50% to these people, these private guys? It's a scam. You can see it now.
Sorry.
You understand?
Come and be going. Sorry. Thank you.
Please, thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Hello, good evening. This will be our last call. Hello, good evening to you. Did we lose you already? Good evening. You're welcome. What's your name, sir?
Good evening. My name is Ibrahim.
Ibrahim, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank God you picked my call this morning.
Hey, wait. You've been looking for me all your life.
I'll make a session on Governor Fubara. Let him not disappoint us, especially me person. If he agrees to the agreement made in that so-called Aso Rock, he's going to disappoint himself. If not, he's going to be a puppet forever to Governor, that man who sees himself as God in Abuja. Let him not listen to the president. Does the president have the moral rights to even make that kind of advice?
Moral, perhaps constitutional. Don't think so.
Does he have the capacity to do that? Let him go and sit down. I don't want to waste my credit. Let Governor Kubara not listen to them. Let him not listen to them.
Thank you.
Let him be a man of his own way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I promise. Run through your messages right quickly.
Okay. And this says, good evening. I get angry when I tell people on radio station and I get angry when people call on radio station telling your presenter to beg the government to do what they promise their supporters. Mrs. P, this government will not do anything till they finish ruling. More Shege Pro Max is coming.
Sorry. I'll leave you this from Ejiko says, good evening. He said, good evening, Precious and Promise. The killing in Borno and Kaduna, even the one in the east, are not isolated cases. They all are about Islamization, or what you said a lot. I said, government cannot reduce transport by fiat unless they are reimbursing the transport companies, and you said a lot, and then exactly what the other person mentioned. How exactly are they going to pay people back that money?
And Humanity from Ikorodu says, good evening, Precious and Promise. Please tell this government that we are hungry, we are not traveling anywhere, let government provide food. I can't see how they can implement this traveling thing. Did implementing the palliative and CNG buses they promised before, did they implement it? You're asking, let food be available and affordable that the Nigerians can take. You're demanding.
Right. And this is honestly, this renewed hope, no balance. Bag of rice now 70,000 naira. Bag of pure water even 300 naira. Which way, Nigeria?
And this says, this is quite lengthy, but I'm going to take it so that you don't cut off my neck. Good evening, ladies. I want to give respect and regards to the late Dora Akunyili. As a case study, she stand out as a patriot, brilliant mind, selfless, focused, driven. She is without fault and corrupt like your okay, from
we cannot
from
read all of
local
them.
to federal, a rule. You said a lot, but a memorial. Also, we remember Stella Adedevo, Baba Jakonde, Dele Giwa, Funsho William, Bola Ege, etc.
Our time is
also
up.
You can give credit to Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, obviously.
Our time is
I am
up.
finishing
No,
this.
we cannot finish
you're
it.
my neck that I don't read message. I am going to finish.
We're not finishing it.
I want to ask.
So thank you so much. That's the size of our packages. We cannot drag on air. We cannot finish it.
I need to finish this.
We have a program coming up now. Time is already up. Thank you so much to everyone who's been a part of the show. We appreciate you. And somebody that sent me a message and said that is a Dima from Agududa. This is how Nigerians now hold their money when they're walking around. People, I don't know. Francis, your passing shot that is not your final shot because you're not dying. Your passing shot. Go ahead.
Maybe small thing, people are really hungry. Like that person said, people should eat first before they want to travel. Government should have focused on the food than the traveling. I think that's just it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We'll return your way again tomorrow. Okay, we're Mr. Darlington, and we're here to do justice to yet another round of discussion. My name is Precious. I'll see you tomorrow.
And I'm Promise Lagos. Good night. Have an amazing evening.
Good night.